If you guys have followed my channel for any length of time, you will know that I absolutely love fantasy and science fiction. So I figured that I would share with you guys some of the fantasy series that I'm hoping to start, finish, what have you in 2017. Hello everyone, it is Samantha and I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. Today I am going to be telling you guys about all of the fantasy books I want to tackle in 2017. Some are series I've already started, some are ones that I want to start, but I figured I would share them with you guys so maybe you guys can get an idea of books that you would like to read in 2017. Who knows? So without further ado, let's get started. The number one series that I want to continue on with this year is definitely the Soldier Son trilogy by Miles Cameron. I read the first book, The Red Knight, last year. I had a whole review of it, which I will link somewhere below if you guys want to check it out. I really liked it. It's a fantasy story with Arthurian elements, and Arthurian, or rather King Arthur stories, are some of my favorite types of fantasy and fae stories. So I definitely want to continue on with the series and get the rest of the books. I already have book 2, The Fell Sword, here on hand to start, and then I need to get the rest. But I'm excited to see where the story goes because I've heard from Michael from Bit My Radioactive Book that it gets pretty dang epic as the story goes along. The next one I want to start, which I think it might be a duology, but I'm not 100% certain, and it's one that I found at Powell's and I started and it was really good, so I'm excited to read it. And that is Myron's Gift by Fiona McIntosh. It seemed like a really good fantasy story when I delved into it. Our main characters is forced to witness the torture and execution of a young girl accused of witchcraft, Myron, and he ends up saving her, and she offers to give him a gift, but he dismisses it, and he just gives her life, and they go their own separate ways. But he soon realizes that sparing her life might have had bigger consequences than he once thought. So it seems like it'd be a pretty epic novel. I've read the first 20 pages, and then I had to read another book for a review, and so I had to put this aside. But I really liked what I read so far. Whenever a book captures my attention in the first few pages, I usually end up liking the whole book. So I'm excited to finish it out, to get the second book, and see what I think of both. Next series that I want to continue on with this year is the Malaton Book of the Fallen series. So I have Dead House Gates and Memories of Ice on hand, and I want to get to both of these. I actually read Gardens of the Moon in 2015 and I enjoyed it, but then I never ended up continuing on with the series. So I want to fix that this year and get through at least 2 more of the books. They're all pretty thick, dense fantasy novels with a lot of detail to keep track of, so I probably won't get to more than 2, but I definitely want to at least get through these 2 and see how the story progresses. In that same vein was another series that I started in 2015, but never ended up continuing on with in 2016, and that is the Dragon Prince series by Melanie Ron, and I have book 2 here, The Star Scroll. I really enjoyed it. It was definitely your like 80s fantasy, which if you've read 80s, early 90s fantasy, you know what I'm talking about. It definitely had a very different feel to it than modern fantasy, or rather fantasy novels written in the past 10 years or so. And I really enjoyed it. It's very nostalgic for me because I kind of grew up reading 80s and 90s fantasy. So I want to continue on with the series and kind of see where it goes. But it's pretty epic. It's like basically about this desert kingdom and desert dragons, and there's like warring factions in the kingdom. And it's all very epic and fun and very typical fantasy, but I was definitely enjoying what I read. The next series I want to start is a series by one of my favorite fantasy authors, I should say, and that is a Blackthorn and Grimm series by Juliet Marillier. The first book here is Dreamer's Pool. I love Juliet Marillier's works. I've read most of her series, but I haven't read this one, and so I really want to start it this year because I love her books so much. They make me so happy. Especially since I finished the Shadowfell trilogy last year, I'm ready for some more Marillier in my life. The next series that I'm hoping to start next year is the Codex Alera by Jim Butcher. The first book is The Furies of Calderon. I have been meaning to start this series forever. It's been on my radar for like the past 10 years or so, and I just haven't ever picked it up. So this year is the year I need to start this series. I've heard mixed reviews. I heard the first few books are pretty good and they kind of go downhill, but we shall see what I think of it when I get to it. But I definitely need to start the series this year. The next series that I want to tackle in 2017 is a Jacoby series by William Ritter. I've heard this is a mixture of Doctor Who and Sherlock, and so I've been wanting to read it for 2 years. I ended up getting Jacoby, the first book, last Christmas, and I never got to it in 2016. And then my lovely friend Angela sent me these 2 books in the series, the next 2 in the series. So I now have it, I can binge read it, and I just need to do it, and it's going to happen. 2017 is the year that this will happen. And the last series that I definitely know I want to continue on with in 2017 is the Camelot Chronicles by Jack White. This is an Arthurian retelling series, but if the story focuses less on magic and more on the historical aspects of the story. So there isn't a lot of magic in these, but it's kind of like if Arthur was a real person, which many historians believe it is based on an actual historical figure, what it would have been like, what built those legends into what they they are now. So I definitely really enjoyed the first book, which is The Sky Stone. I want to continue on with The Singing Sword and the rest of the series and see how it progresses. All right, guys, those are all the fantasy books that I would like to get to in 2017. I definitely know that there are more than those that I'm going to get to, but those have yet to be determined. And so those are the ones I definitely know that I want to start and read. And then the rest will just kind of happen naturally. We'll see. You know, sometimes you finish a book and then you go to your bookshelves and you're like, yep, I'm ready for that one. So I'm sure there will be a lot of that going on as well. But those are the ones that I definitely know I want to get to in 2017. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys all have a lovely day. Until next time, happy reading. Bye.